Well, here's a question I have for you. I don't even know if you can answer this question anymore.
I can answer any question you throw at me.
That's a great point. You can. I've had this debate with people for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
Pointless?
Pointless is the question?
Yeah, pointless question mark. Yogurt, pointless question mark?
So, back in the day, I was a big fan of Petit Filou.
Oh, yeah. Those were too small, but top tier.
Give me, now as an adult, it's like, oh, I want to get some yogurt. I'm going to go down to Tesco, I'm going to pick up yogurt, 500 grams of Skier or fucking Alpro Greek low fat. And I'm like, fuck that, man. Give me a kilogram of Petit Filou.
This is a kilogram of pure sugar.
I want my bones to be strong. Just like the Petit Filou fruits used to promise me.
I want the diabetes to flow strong through my body because the amount of sugar they would put into those when we were kids.
So good.
Like,
what's the best ice lolly?
I mean, I was never really an ice lolly person.
Petit Filou is the supreme ruler of the yogurt world.
Absolutely.
Mini Milks, supreme ruler
What
of...
the hell were mini milks?
Gavin, are you fucking joking? You've never had a mini milk?
I don't think I've ever had a mini milk.
Oh.
I mean, sometimes at night when I go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I have a wee mini milk. But it's just,
Don't put yourself down
clear
like
out
that,
the
man.
old demon.
You don't need to call it a mini milk. You can just say a little milk.
Yeah, just clear out the
mini
milk, the milky demons.
Nas, next time you're on the podcast, I'm going to ask you
No,
to...
it's never happening. You're not
Edit round me.
You're not asking how I get milked. But yogurts, apart from Petit Filou when we were kids, they were top tier. Yes, they were too small, but they were top tier.
Crunch Corners.
No, here's the point.
They're not pointless, though.
Yes, they are.
Crunch Corners are
Yogurts
pointy.
now, as adults, pointless.
You can still get a Crunch Corner.
They offer you nothing. If you're
a tasty
hungry,
dessert.
Yogurt is a shit dessert.
A Crunch Corner's not.
Yes, it is.
Banana Choco Flake Crunch Corner, Toffee Hoop Crunch Corner.
Yes, those are good.
They're the only good ones.
But
the fruit corners, fucking in the bin. Don't even try and give me a fucking shitty little jam that I'm going to put in my yogurt. Fuck off.
Goopy cherry nonsense you put in, it goes
just put it in the yogurt. Just sell me the yogurt whole.
Sell me the whole yogurt.
I understand why the Crunch Corners can't, because you're going to open it to a soggy mess.
Yeah.
But the fruit ones?
Just get it in there.
It's just a fucking gimmick.
It's a gimmick is what it is.
It is a gimmick, and a bad gimmick.
Okay, well, I don't think we're going to get the answer to the question I wanted there, so
I'm telling you the answer.
No, yogurt, one, is not a dessert, and two, the reason yogurt is not good is because if you're actually hungry or want to fill yourself up or gain sustenance, a yogurt is never the thing to do it. Only when you add things to yogurt,
like a Crunch Corner.
Sure, I'm thinking like granola or something, you know?
Yeah.
You have like granola and you put yogurt, then it's going to...
But it's because... I mean, I don't want to go down the whole I'm vegan, let's talk about my choices, but dairy is not good for humans.
I mean, it's...
Cheese, milk, yogurt, all of it. The amount we consume, it has no health benefits other than fat.
And you've been eating a lot of it then.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Meandering Movie Podcast. That's right. We are still doing this. You've asked for it. We're back. We're doing it. And guess what, everyone? We're talking about your favorite topic, the thing we don't talk enough about, and you want to hear us talk
so much. Like now that you said that, we have talked about Marvel so much recently.
That's right. We're talking Marvel once again. That is because this week, whenever I don't know when this podcast has come out. So whenever Doctor Strange came out, Gary and I both saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi, released in 2022, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and other actors who cannot be named because it could be spoilers, but
Benedict
too late.
Wong.
We're spoiling everyone. Aha! John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic. Patrick Stewart is Xavier.
Who else was in there? We had... Who are the other big ones? The Black Bolt from the TV show. He redid it.
We had Captain UK or something. Or Captain
Peggy Carter, played by Jennifer Atwell.
No.
Charlie Atwell?
No.
Something Atwell.
Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell. There we go.
I thought you want to go to like Jennifer Aniston or something.
No, Atwell. I got the Atwell part. Yeah, she was back in it. Peggy Carr.
And then you got the lady from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, her best mate that waited for her. She's back. You right?
I just had
burping lots.
I ate a lot of food before. I had a lot of pasta and a lot of sushi before we started. It's an interesting combination.
Good combo. The old Italian-Japanese mix.
And then I had chocolate buttons and cookies filled with jam. So
and you're sitting here calling me fat.
Yeah, but I'm as thin as a £5 note from the side.
You're filling out.
I know. I mean, I'm comfy now. I'm comfortable. I've met a nice person.
I truly cannot talk. I am fat, but you're looking healthy. I mean, the thing is, you're looking healthy. I wouldn't even say you're looking fat. You just look good. You needed the weight. You were an emaciated skeleton man before. I was an
emaciated alcoholic.
Emaciated, depressed, alcoholic skeleton man. But now you're looking good.
Thank you.
I mean, like, the Warner Brothers rang me and they're like, "Hey, gal, we're looking for someone for the new He-Man live action movie, and we haven't filled Skeletor yet. Do you know anyone?" And I was, at the time, you were the top of the list.
Yeah.
But now I've seen you today. I'm like, God damn it.
Fuck. I just messed
that's
up.
my finder's fee gone.
Yeah, you're going to be my agent for that one movie, for the He-Man reboot starring...
who would you cast as He-Man?
Very obviously...
Dwayne The Rock.
No, I was going to say Alexander Skarsgård.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson with an awful wig. Remember He-Man's hair is a yellow bowl cut.
Okay.
Now imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson wearing that ridiculous He-Man, loincloth and
then little straps.
Yeah. With the awful blonde wig. That's money. We have sold.
You know what's going to happen? Because Dwayne The Rock Johnson isn't fun anymore, he's going to not wear the wig and he's going to be bald. Because he's just bald.
No, I think he would absolutely do it. I think he'd smash it. The only problem I see with getting Dwayne The Rock Johnson in for He-Man, Masters of the Universe live-action movie remake that we are funding and producing and directing and writing
of course.
By us,
yes,
is he will 100% be like, oh, and can Kevin Hart come on? Yeah. I want Kevin Hart to play... Who else was in He-Man?
I was about to say, who else is in fucking He-Man? I know. Kevin Hart can play...
The cat.
No, I was going to say the like younger version, and then like he grows up to become Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What, Prince Adam?
Yeah.
No, but what? You can't make...
Why not?
The same person.
Yeah.
He just gets muscular.
Yes. So
by the power of Grayskull.
He goes from
I have the power!
He goes from small little Kevin Hart to big Dwayne The Rock
Make
Johnson.
Kevin Hart the Battle Cat.
You want Dwayne The Rock Johnson to ride Kevin Hart?
Yes.
I guess the Battle Cat can be CGI and Kevin Hart voices.
Do the voice.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Skeletor?
Me.
I told you we can't get you in
I can get back into shape. I can get back into Skeletor shape really easy. I'll just go back to my usual diet.
Naz, you have to leave him. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Naz.
You're like, Naz, it's been a wonderful time, but...
It's been the best time
you have to break my heart so I can turn back to an alcoholic, depressed,
Skeletor.
emaciated skeleton man for my new role.
And once the movie's over, we can talk and maybe see if we want to get back together or not. I don't know.
No, but because we can't have you, because you are healthy and doing good, who are we casting as Skeletor?
I absolutely know who we're going to cast. Timothy Chalamet. He's quite...
Oh, that's such a good cast!
Yeah.
The only problem is we need a big, over-the-top personality for Skeletor. He's a wild, crazy man. Timothy Chalamet looks incredible, is a fine actor, but he's going to make Skeletor so fucking horny.
He's going to make the internet so horny for Skeletor.
They're going to be, Skeletor gave me the bone jokes going around the internet
like
forever.
Memes about bones. I mean...
It's a good pick, though. It's a really good pick.
Tom Hiddleston?
That's probably...
He's quite muscular now, though.
Good.
He would have to get back to like when he was like a first Thor movie. Yeah, when he was a bit like...
You could blow on him and he'd fly away.
Yeah, when he was at... Now he's like quite built.
Tom Hiddleston is the human equivalent of... You remember those long balloons you used to blow up as a kid?
Yes.
And you'd let it go and it'd go... go all over the room? That's Tom Hiddleston.
I don't know what that means.
It's funny. That's him in human form.
Does that make like Chris Hemsworth is like one of the big...
Chris Hemsworth is one of those balloons that when it's not blown up, has the shape of a rabbit with the ears. And then you blow it up, and because it's a cheaply made Chinese mass manufactured thing. The main balloon blows up, but the ears never pop, and they just
just little nubbins,
little nubbins at the top of the balloon,
like fucking
with this horrendously stretched out rabbit fucking print on the front. Those balloons never look good. They look fine. They look like little rabbits when they're not blown up. And the moment you try and blow them up, they just turn into monstrosities. And we keep buying them.
And then we give them to children. And then we torment them and horrify their little
balloons
lives.
Are fucking awful.
But speaking of Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, we're going to talk about not necessarily Doctor Strange, but a question that I posed to Gary after watching Doctor Strange that I thought was quite interesting, which is, quote, that's right, I'm quoting myself, do you think the Marvel machine will ever fail?
Quote, we're watching it burst at the seams right now, end quote.
That was what Gary
That was from me. That was my
Gary
quote.
said back to me, and I was like, hey, maybe that should be what we do a podcast on. He was like,
no, you said, quote, maybe that's what we should do the podcast on, end quote. And then I said, quote, that sounds like a good idea, end quote. And then I sent another message, quote, I haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once though, end quote.
Are you now just quoting out our text messages back and forth?
Well, that's
because you missed it, the one where you said, quote, I think you should eat my ass. And I said, quote, I'm going to pop popcorn in your hot little bum and eat it out. But you left that bit out.
I forgot about that.
I didn't.
But yeah, it's a mess. It's
so,
like I have been a huge advocate for the Marvel films. I love them. Even the crappy ones in phase 1 to 4. I feel like we should really just call that whole thing phase 1 now. Now that they're doing a whole phase.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like from Iron Man to Endgame, that's your phase 1.
I think technically Far From Home is the end. That was the nightcap to that series, right? Sure. So a big pusher for them. I think there's a lot of good. I mean, good quote unquote. They're Marvel movies, and I thoroughly enjoy them for the most part. Are they the best pieces of like artistic cinema scapes that have ever graced our silver screens? Absolutely fucking not.
But are there moments or movies in there that can stand
to the scrupulation?
I always stand by like Winter Soldier is like if you just want a top tier like spy thriller.
Winter Soldier's good. First Guardians of the Galaxy is good.
Yeah, if you want a
Thor Ragnarok, once
sci-fi
you
romp.
hit like like Thor was a real up and down, and that was like a roller coaster of we're gonna make this like a space opera. It's gonna be an epic. We're gonna have Chris Hemsworth as Thor.
Kenneth
Tom
Branagh's gonna
Loki.
direct.
Kenneth Branagh. It's gonna be like it's gonna be really fucking good. Okay, cool. Give it to me. Oh, it's really boring.
They're just on Earth.
They're back on Earth.
Not really doing anything. And
the
then
space opera stuff didn't pan out.
And then a big silver monster thing comes
So then they're
along.
like, right, you know what? Don't worry about it. Thor 2's coming out. Dark World.
Cool, yeah.
We're going to get Christopher Eccleston in.
Oh, great
actor.
Yeah.
Good villain, Malekith.
Don't know who directed that, but probably wasn't anywhere memorable.
And then it's, we're really going double down on the space opera. And you know what? We're going to make it sinister. It's going to be dark.
Yeah,
Christopher Eccleston's going to be great. Sick. What do we get? Doctor Who on the silver screen. That film is a nightmare.
There's a Vimto can in it. I can tell you that's a Vimto can. Vimto!
It also has, we talked about it a little bit last time we talked about Marvel, weeks ago, the end credit scenes that amount to absolutely nothing.
I don't even know what the end credit scenes.
It's one of the portals is open and like a giant space monster comes through the portal and is just stalking Earth, like just kicking around. Did that ever come to anything?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It feels like it should have. And then Thor 3, which was good fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's the trailer. I saw the trailer for the new Thor before Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Don't care. Just
I'm digging it. I feel like it's very eat, pray, love in the Marvel universe.
But I just know.
I wish the Guardians weren't in it.
Yeah, fair.
I think like all the Thor stuff and him like finding himself and like losing weight and like I'm kind of there for all that. I think that's going to be a 15-minute montage at the beginning, right? And then it's going to maybe not even a 5-minute montage of him losing weight.
Yeah.
Hard cut to him talking to the Guardians and then being like, "Look, man, you got to fucking go."
And he's going to go
maybe
off
a botched job with the Guardians, culminating in that conversation. Loads of jokes about, look, you got to find the people you love, and
it's
that's
not
in the trailer.
us.
And
Yeah.
then he's, yeah. And then I don't know what the rest of the film, but
Jane,
I guarantee that's the
Jane
beginning.
Foster will be there.
Oh, she's Thor now.
Mental, that name is still inside. But how did I remember that character's name?
Jane Forster.
But here after watching.
What are we talking about again? I can't follow any leads, man. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's why I'm here for. After watching Multiverse of Madness and definitely Eternals.
Yes. So yeah, I was a big advocator. I like the whole Phase 1 to Phase 4, finishing in Far From Home with Spider-Man, and then since then,
yep,
it genuinely is since then. Shang-Chi was enjoyable, but I don't care.
Of the post-Endgame movies, it's the one I've enjoyed the most.
Yeah, totally. Eternals, I didn't hate it as much as you did, but I don't care. Spider-Man, Far From Home, No Way Home came out. I watched it. Great roller coaster.
Yeah,
it's finished. Don't care.
Yeah,
and I fucking love Spider-Man. So then I was like, I was 100% like, I was flipping it, and I was like, on this Multiverse of Madness is gonna pull it all together. And we've had all those TV shows as well. We had WandaVision, we had What If, we had Cap and Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. And don't get me wrong, there are some hidden misses in there.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, I will say I think the TV shows have been pretty good so far. Some real fucking issues, like the Loki big finale, which, again, I don't know why Thor and Doctor Who end up being the same thing, but the Loki big finale where he's like running through the city with the female Loki, Sylvie, and it's meant to be this like, oh, it's so epic, look, every turn they get blocked off and they're escaping from the explosions, and it's like, this is filmed on a green screen set, I can tell, and I know you think it looks epic, but it doesn't look good and it doesn't feel epic. Anyway, I had all my hopes riding on Multiverse of Madness to bring it back and to make me like, fuck yes, like, here we go.
Look at this big universe of new things we're going to play with.
It's amazing. And they Rise of the Skywalkered it.
Wow. I think
I came out and I was like, it's Rise of the Skywalker all over again.
I was sitting in the film going, oh, like, I am actively bored.
Yeah.
Like, I've been checked out of Marvel since Endgame. Like, once Endgame happened, I'm like, I got my end, which they called Endgame, and I was like, cool. I have been here since the Iron Mans. I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I made it all the way through. It was a rough ride because I looked like Ant-Man's and Thor: Dark Worlds and Guardians, and I'm just like, I don't like a lot of this shit, but I made it to the end, and I got my Cap ending that I wanted for the character I like, and boom. And then guess what, Gary? They kept going.
Good. Why wouldn't they?
So far, I haven't seen a reason why they need to keep going.
Because it's money. It's all money.
Well, obviously, like, money-wise. But I mean, from like a story standpoint, and like this next adventure going on, like the stuff with, like, they had the Black Widow movie. It's like, wow, what a waste of time that was.
Especially with the Black Widow movie, we had the end. We did it.
We didn't. They should.
If you brought that film out before, when she was alive, I'd have been like, cool, it's part of the phases. It's
now I understand the character a wee bit better before she goes to die. Bring it out after Endgame when she's dead. I was like, what? Oh, I know it's there to set up Florence Pugh's character, but apart from that, it's just like
Hawkeye TV show. Sorry, just remember that.
Yeah, sure. There was a Hawkeye TV show.
You watched it?
I watched it.
I liked it.
It was a show. I liked Florence Pugh in it. She was great.
I think Hawkeye is one of the better ones because I think it's nice seeing, like, set in the Avengers world, big fucking heroes. Here's Hawkeye just, like,
on a wee adventure,
tiny little holiday adventure.
It felt like
grounded little.
It felt like Daredevil, the Netflix show,
which is good.
Yeah, I like that. But good. The show just it's the same problem that all these shows have, is it doesn't warrant being like 6 hours of television. Like, WandaVision didn't need to be 8 hours of television.
See, I disagree. I think WandaVision was good. I think Hawkeye was good. Cap and Winter Soldier, I definitely had issues with that. Yeah, there was not a lot. There was, I would say, at least 2 hours of those. 2 of those episodes where I was like, what did that achieve?
That show had some decent character work, but a horrible plot.
Yeah,
and you're just like, when it gets to the end, and like, you're like, oh, we're gonna get this guy, and I'm like, who? Why? I don't care. Like, what's happening, right? And then the show ends, and I'm like, cool. But the worst one is Loki. Loki is. Yeah. Like, the first episode is so good, and I'm like,
the first episode of Loki was, I was so fucking hyped on that. And I text you and be like, man, and I think, because you went, I'm going to wait for the end of it. I was like, I'm going to give you the week by week plays. First episode, I was like, Gav, I'm fucking actually stoked. I'm actually so excited. That first episode is so fucking good. This is going to be good. And then I think second episode, I was like, it's still pretty good, man. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty good.
But there's still hope.
And then third episode, I was like, it's
oh my God.
Man. Is it the third episode? I think it is.
Third episode is one of the worst hours of television I've had to sit through in a long time.
Loses
it's like, the writing is so awkward and clunky. The performances kind of fall apart.
And there's some nice moments in it. Because that's the bit where he sings, isn't it? He's on the train. Is that it's a train episode?
Yeah, it's on the train episode.
And it's like, there's a nice bit where he sings and he's like reminiscing, but then there's just lots of it where you're like, what?
Then like the lack of chemistry between those two characters is just, and then like they have the whole love bit and they're just like, oh, we're in love. It's like, no, this is...
They fall in love quick.
Oh yeah, they do that classic. It's like Batman and Catwoman and the Batman. Just like, we're in love all of a sudden. Like, you've barely known each other and he tried to get you killed and you like...
And you keep betraying him.
But yeah, it's since Endgame, it's just been a slog, and I think with Multiverse of Madness, I reached my end.
You're breaking
like what I'm just truly just done, because the trailer for the main reason I wanted to see Multiverse of Madness was because Sam Raimi was directing.
Yeah.
I love Sam Raimi. I love the previous superhero movies he's done, and I love a lot of the other movies outside of that, like The Evil Dead and stuff.
He's got a good style. He knows what he's doing. He's got a horror element to it, and fair's fair. The Sam Raimi portions of Multiverse of Madness, and if you haven't seen this film yet, try and see it if you want. If you haven't seen it, obviously big spoilers coming up. It's two movies, though. It is
100%.
It is Sam Raimi's movie,
yeah,
and then there is all this shit that Marvel Studios was like, oh, and you have to put this in, make sure these beats get hit. You have to introduce this person, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you can, genuinely, you can pull out the bits. It's so blatantly obvious. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You could look at this movie in an editing bay, and you could separate them out clearly into two very, very different categories, and that is the Marvel machine of churning out our blue screen looking crappy nonsense, and then the Sam Raimi stuff that's like wild, mad, so out of...
And very horror focused as well.
Yeah, some really
Super
good horror
creepy
moments in this, and the only times I perked up in this movie and I was like, oh, like I'm enjoying myself, was the Sam Raimi stuff. But the problem is, your general Marvel audience are used to that general Marvel kind of machine. So when the Sam Raimi stuff does come in, it's so out of left field. Like it just collides with what Doctor Strange is trying to be. Because Doctor Strange is such a like serious down the line. Like they take it so seriously. They don't really have fun with that character.
It's kind of a funny one because you're right. He's a serious character, but in the first Doctor Strange film is pretty wacky.
Sure, yeah. They tried to make him Iron Man 2.0.
Yeah.
Or Tony Stark 2.0.
It follows that same fucking storyline.
Yeah.
But it's got the cooked visuals, which is fun, like that. It's got him, you're right, the arrogant, cocky, like, I know what I'm doing. I don't need anyone's help. Oh, wait, magic? I can do this stuff? I get it. I like the arc. But I think that the weird, wacky shit in Doctor Strange 1 is what made that film stand out. Because you're right, outside that, you have Iron Man 1.5.
Yeah, you just got another character being a Tony Stark. And for the first Doctor Strange, I loved looking at that movie. It was like they did some stuff that I was like, I've not seen something like that before.
I like that the end, the goal, not the goal, the resolution to it wasn't just Strange is going to fight someone with his own powers. It was, he's going to trick the guy. He's going to beat him by being smarter.
Meanwhile,
that's cool.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, visually, there's not much new that I either hadn't seen in the trailer or I haven't seen them do before. And when it does come to the big resolutions to the big action scenes and how they want to resolve them, it's let's just shoot a colored laser at another person who's shooting a colored laser.
Because we're just ripping through this like at random. Let's go through the movie. Let's do our usual kind of like review process, right? So like the film starts, and this is why I'm saying they Rise of Skywalker it for me, right? Because the film starts with like the pacing problem of Rise of Skywalker, right? And it kind of keeps that up for the majority of the film, where it's just ripping through set pieces and new locations in the chase of whatever MacGuffin is the next MacGuffin.
And the MacGuffin in this movie
starts with the Book of Ashanti.
Yeah.
Which is the fucking dumbest. Like, I know that's a Marvel
when it comes to names things, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness goes to a new level of dumb names.
But it's not even their fault. These are Marvel things.
I know, the thing's taken from the comic book.
I've always read it as the Book of Vishanti or Vishanti. I've always really emphasized the V. This movie, they don't. They call it Ashanti, which is, if I'm not incorrect, is that not an R&B musician? Every time they said it, I was like, they don't mean the R&B musician, but that's all I can hear.
I just thought of there's like a character in either The Mummy or The Mummy Returns who shouts Avanti, and he just goes Avanti.
Avanti!
Oh no, wait, no, it's not The Mummy. It's I can't remember the name, but it's a character in like a plate going Avanti, and I just kept thinking of that instead of
every time.
Yeah, instead of Ashante.
So it's ripping through. You get Strange. You get introduced to America Chavez straight away.
God, the name is so dumb.
It's a dumb name, but again, not the film's fault.
Not the film's fault because it's taken from the comic book, but still, you could just have a bit of forethought. To be like, maybe we'll change the name to just Chavez. Like,
but then it's the problem now. They did it with Rise of Skywalker, and they are going down the. Wait, I'm going off again. They're doing the same thing. Where they're just pandering to fans. They're just giving the fans what they want.
Oh, this movie is the epitome of let's pander, and we'll get to it. But
it's pandering to fans, and you do it too much, and you just end up with the Rise of Skywalker. You end up with a film that's not good because you've been like, it's what the fans wanted, though. Anyway, powers through. Strange attacks America because he needs the power.
Strange attack. Just the sentence. It's like, America's in trouble. We have to protect America's power. Like, fuck off. Just say her full name. We have to pick America Chavez's power. Don't just.
It's mad. So then he turns on her, and then she does her powers, rips through the multiverse, and ends up in our MCU. Universe 616.
You remember that. You remember that from the movie.
Well, it's because that is the MC. Like, the Marvel comics are Universe 616, which in a Marvel place as well. It kind of I don't understand. So 616 is now what the live cinematic universe, which the comics have already established is not 616. That's its own multiverse designation. But now the movies are saying no, we're 616. We're the main. We're the main Marvel universe.
Isn't it that Disney always kind of do, because it did the same with Star Wars and other things where like the movies are the main.
Yeah, but they aren't.
Everything else becomes sick. Like
but the comics have been on forever. But you can't just.
They did the same with Star Wars, where like all these books and video games and other TV shows now
doesn't exist.
They're all wiped from
Doesn't
canon.
matter. Yeah.
So they're probably going to do the same with the movies, where like the movies are now prime canon.
So they rip into our universe. And you get your first taste of Raimi's direction where he wakes up and you get that spinning camera, which is an awesome fucking scene. You see it in the trailer, but it's an awesome, scene.
Yeah, when it comes to Raimi, camera work and editing are some of it, like, where his magic really shines through.
So then Strange is like, I'm going to nip out. Is he going to a wedding?
Yeah, he goes to Rachel McAdams' wedding to Guy.
And he instantly bumps into America Chavez, and they see each other.
Well, no, she goes to wedding.
No, they bump into her, and he turns and he looks at her, and he's like, oh. And then he's like, oh, I'm late, and he runs off to the wedding, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So
you're going to definitely have to remind me a lot in this.
For some fucking reason, he just bumps into her, and they almost meet, and then he's like, I'm going to get to my wedding, goes away. Then she gets attacked by the fucking big one-eyed monster.
The lobster monster.
Shurikath, which is another Marvel thing, and I thought it was going to be a bigger part of the film. It's not. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers
galore.
I've already made a klaxon or something.
He's at the wedding. There is the wedding. There's a fucking brilliant joke, and no one in the cinema laughed. I laughed, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what's happening?" When he's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're happy. Can I get you a drink?" And she's like, "Oh, go on then." And he whips his hand.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry, just, if it sounds like we've had a cut, it's because the computer fucked up.
There was a technical deficit with the computer. It seemed like it shut off, but it didn't, so we're still recording, I hope.
Apologies, if there's a bit of a weird cut there and I sound like I've been thrown off my my groove, it's because of Gav's ancient fucking 1995 laptop.
It is meant to choose this laptop to record on.
So he waves his hand over the drink. He's like, can I get you a drink? She's like, yeah, go on. And he waves his hand over that glass of water and turns water to wine. And he's like, I'm sorry, is that a bit much? And she's like, on my wedding day? And I was like, because that's a good gag. Like, it highlights Strange as a smug fucking prick. He thinks he's better than Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for her to be like, it's a bit much on my wedding. Like, come on. I was like, that's fucking funny. That's some good character development. And again, the only person in the whole... And I'm like genuinely laughing. And it got to that awkward point where I was like, all right, I guess I'll be quiet.
But that also reminded me of a problem with the first Doctor Strange and now this Doctor Strange, and that is that Rachel McAdams and Benedict Cumberbatch have zero on-screen chemistry whatsoever. So this whole like, I love her and I can't be with her in any universe. I'm like, why would you want to be? Clearly you don't actually like each other because this is a dead-ass relationship.
Yeah.
Like
Cumberbatch throughout the whole movie as well, I thought was just like, not, I don't want to say phoning it in. I don't want to say he was phoning in the whole performance, but he does not seem like he gives that much of a fuck.
I mean, Cumberbatch in Infinity War, I think, is like peak Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like the way he plays off of the other characters. And then that's what this movie also reminded me of Doctor Strange and re-emphasized to me, is that Doctor Strange is a good side character to play off of main characters. He's not a character that leads the film.
Yeah.
Because like the amount of times like Wong's on screen or Scarlet Witch is on screen or anyone else is on screen doing something, I'm like, oh, like this character, like, and then it cuts back to Doctor Strange. I went, oh fuck yeah, like Doctor Strange is here, and he just seems like a passenger in his own movie.
It's weird as well that his like every single scene, and more or less every sentence in that movie, and when I was thinking about it, it's kind of the first one as well. Is Strange turns up, says something. People are like, no, that's wrong. And he goes, oh, well, I'm Doctor Strange. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Then gets proven that he's wrong and has to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
That's it. Every time he's on screen. And it happens over and over and over and over. So anyway, right. Ripping through. So we're at like the 10-minute mark by this point, and I'm already fucking like, whoa, Jesus Christ, so much has happened. So saves the girl. They then go to Wanda pretty much straight away.
Yeah, more or less they're out to meet Wanda with like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, 15, I'd say. It felt real fucking quick. They go to
and
meet
then
Wanda.
Here's where there's a massive shift that feels
so wrong.
So
wrong. So yeah, goes to Wanda, and he's chatting to her multiverse, and what do you want to do in Wanda?
What did Viz say about the multiverse?
Multiverse, and oh, this, that, the next thing. All right, nice one. Wait a minute. I knew the girl's name, but you didn't tell me. And he's like, something's up. I've got you. And she's like, yep, you got me. I'm evil.
Just yeah, I'm the bad guy of the movie now.
That's it.
And you're like, okay.
And straight up, like, from a characterization, this is my biggest gripe with the whole film, to be perfectly honest. From a characterization point of view, the last time we saw Wanda, it was dealing with grief and going through an arc. And again, you know, she held the entire town of Westview captive, which isn't good. I'm not saying it is. But she didn't do it on purpose.
She didn't do it out of malice. She did it out of the only way she knew how to like deal with, like you said, her grief of losing the one person that she loved and understood.
And her powers went out of control. And I thought the WandaVision show went through great pains to show, look, she wasn't in full control of her powers. She's grieving. She's created this fantasy land.
She was also being manipulated by another evil character.
And she's being manipulated by an evil character, right? So, like, there's all this stuff. And at the end of it, she comes to terms with her grief, and she settles, and she makes herself okay, and it's like, right.
She finds peace, and she moves away from everyone else to just center herself.
Just center. And then there's the bit at the end of WandaVision where you can see her looking through the book, and she's searching the multiverse. Cool. So, the seed has been put in the ground to make her a villain. No problems with that. And if at the end of the movie, Wanda had gone, sorry, Strange, I actually have been working to my own machinations, and through seeing the multiverse and seeing various versions of myself who are in a much better position and or worse off, I know I need the evil power of the Darkhold to now take over and get my happy ending. I'm going to have to betray you. Fine. Give me an hour of showing me her coming to terms with it.
Like, deal with the character trying to figure out who she is and what she wants to do.
Show me her turning evil.
Because it feels
Don't
like...
just
do it.
Don't just do it off screen.
That's the thing. It feels like between WandaVision and this movie, a whole other story happened to really get her to this point. Like, so much had to have happened to get her to be...
And it's not like doing it with Wong, for example, right? If Wong was evil this film, I'd be like, I mean, it's a bit odd, but I guess the book made him evil. Cool. He's not that important a character. Wanda has been in it since Age of Ultron 2, and she started as a villain fine.
Age of Ultron 2?
Sorry, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Apologies. She started as a villain fine, but then she redeemed herself in that movie, and since then has just been showing herself to be a character of growth. And even though she hasn't had the most screen time, she's been in it, and she's gone through the fucking ringer, and she killed Viz, and then he got brought back, and then she watched him die, and then she fucked up Thanos. Like, we've had so many character growth moments to then off screen just be like, she's evil now. Book's doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, what? And sorry, Gav, but wait. The reason that she's evil is because a book's doing it, so she has no agency in the fucking thing. You've removed her as a character. From the entire fucking MCU.
You've made her a plot point rather than a character. Like the way, like in Civil War, like the way that character tries to deal with who she is and the way people perceive her is a great growth for that character in a bigger ensemble. And then by the time, like same in Infinity War, like it's her again trying to deal with like who she is and what people perceive her as, but she's got the love of her life. This person sees her for who she thinks she really is, and it's all this. And then it gets to this, and goes, nope, she's evil.
She's evil.
And it to the most mental, because then after that she goes to Shambhala where they're like holding America Chavez to like protect her, and she just starts brutally murdering and torturing people to an extent
Non-stop.
that is so beyond what this.
But it's because they had to make her. They had to show that she is a villain,
but it's 20 minutes into the movie.
Oh, totally. Like, I'm with you.
And
but
it's just like
the reason they do it is obviously because they need to show you. It's the same thing that happens in I think a lot of films where it's like, right, well, here's the good guy and here's the villain. All right, cool. The villain says this, and you kind of go, oh wait, but the villain's not wrong. Actually, now that you've painted out in front of me, the villain kind of has a point, and it's like, yeah, okay, well. Also, that villain just shot a kid in the face, and it's like, oh, they're evil. Oh my god! And it's like, well, they didn't have to shoot the kid in the face. You had to show me them doing that because otherwise your villain's actually too relatable.
It's like when you watch Black Panther and you have Killmonger.
Oh yeah,
and you're just
perfect example.
And you're just like, he's doing. There's justification for it, and I can understand the levels of why that character's going the way they can.
And then he starts shooting people indiscriminately and killing them, and you're like, oh, I guess.
Well, I guess now I have to see him as the bad guy because he's killing innocent people. But you've only done that, like you said, to make him
the bad guy, and that's what they do to Wanda. So at Shambhala kills a bunch of people.
Like it's kind of ridiculous how far it goes with what she becomes,
just instantly. I think and that's again, it's the problem. It's the fact it's instant. It's just like. She's the full villain for the whole film. And again, to Raimi's credit, all the stuff he gets to do with her, the horror stuff, fucking good. When she gets trapped in the mirror realm and she starts using the reflections, she's awesome.
And it's like you've got the wee like Evil Dead kind of Easter egg of like hand going through the water and stuff. It's just like, but I mean, yeah, it's good that Raimi has the Wanda character to play with, because I think it's watching that movie, that's the character he was most interested in playing around with, because he does. Like the stuff later on when she gets to the other universe, like takes over the other Wanda and she's like killing all these people. It's so Raimi and it's so Evil Dead-y in a way. And like when she's got the
zombie I know she's not a zombie, but like with the glowing whites of the eyes.
She's kind of like she's hobbling along and she's got like the robot blood all over and stuff. And like what she does to the characters in that universe is so like brutal, and you're just like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. And then
because we can, you know what, we can skip ahead here. So then it's just fucking Strange in America ripping through. I mean, another slight aside: the multiverse of madness. It's the multiverse. How many multiverses can we possibly visit in one movie? I know. Here's a great number: 3.
Yeah. It's like, when you read that title, in the multiverse of madness, you're expecting like a montage of hopping into all these mental crazy places, and we're like, oh, we're here now.
Rick and Morty-esque. Rick and Morty does it. They do it, like, and occasionally they go through like 5 in one episode,
and it's just
like 20 minutes
like,
apart.
Zap, here we are. We're here for like 10 minutes, and boom. Instead, they have a 2-minute scene of, or not even 2 minutes, like a 40-second scene of just like, wow, we're falling, we're in here, and we've landed in the most boring of all the universes we could have just grey. And
it's like
bland.
our one, but kind of a utopia, but not really, I guess.
There's more greenery, and they walk on red lights instead of green lights. Wow.
Technology's better.
It just looks so boring. It's like some of the universes they traverse through very quickly to get that happen. Oh, let's stop. Oh, no, okay. Oh, can we stop here? No, okay. Oh, this one looks no, okay.
So, and it is, isn't it? So there's the main universe. There's that future universe.
You've got like old-timey universe. You've got like...
No. Ignoring that montage. Oh. The actual film goes through that the main universe, the future universe.
And the one where...
They land in between time.
The one with the big black hole thing that like evil doctors like...
Oh, yeah. So 4.
Yeah.
4 universes in the whole multiverse of madness that we get to see.
Yeah, again, the title Multiverse of Madness.
And like the whole multiverse thing again, like if you wanted to make Wanda the evil witch... Why do it to the one that you've given us so much? You've just introduced us to the multiverse. Make an evil Wanda come
You've also
through.
introduced the idea of dream walking. Make it a Wanda from that universe with the evil Doctor Strange. Make it her dream
walking into
our
Wanda.
one and like doing shit like that.
It just feels so annoying that they've shat up.
And now like Oh yeah, I guess we've already said it's massive spoilers, but like she's not dead. She'll be back. But it's like, what are they going to do with her?
I feel like they've killed the character. They killed the character on screen, and then they didn't show you the body. But I'm like, what can they do with her? She's fucking...
I think it's going to be a case of when we get to a big team-up movie, she's going to come in at some point and be like, I can help you, shoot some of her red laser boring shit, and goes... I'm still bad, but I had to do the right thing, and then she'll fuck off again.
Yeah,
and she'll get paid, and Elizabeth Olsen will pick up a nice paycheck.
So they go to they're in the future universe, and then you get and here's another thing I did quite like. They didn't rip the cunt with the cameo bullshit. From the Multiverse of Madness, I was expecting this to be
cameo mad,
start to finish. Look who we got in. We got this character. We got that character. And I would have been sitting there like, oh my God, please make it end.
Please just... pick a character and tell a story, for fuck's sake. Like,
but and they don't do that. They give you the Illuminati.
Dumb fucking name.
Again,
I know it's from the comic books,
thing.
But you didn't need to do it.
It's also what made me laugh coming out of that. I was like, oh, the Illuminati. I was like, yeah, cool. Just call them the other Avengers, because it's very clear they fill the role of the Avengers in this universe.
Like, I went with a couple of my friends, and like my friend James was just kind of like they couldn't have said another name than Illuminati, because when they went, we're the Illuminati, he just creased next to me. He was just pissing himself.
Do you know what's even better though? Do you remember Strange's line in response to that? The Illuminati.
Oh yeah, some of the lines that they feed Benedict Cumberbatch, by the way, my God, and he delivers them with that same like down the line kind of no charisma, just like. But he was like, oh, why don't we just call them like the Protectors or something, or like
anything,
or like Earth's Mightiest Heroes or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Or just have them say like, oh, well, we're this universe is the Avengers, but we're called the Illuminati.
Yeah, like they know about all these other They could be like, well, we're your version of the Avengers. Done. We don't need we're the Illuminati.
Like we're like the Avengers, but actually also way better than the Avengers. We're and then behind the scenes.
The biggest problem with this scene where we get all these cameos from these different people is they're like, boom, here's Black Adam. Black Adam? Black Bolt. Black Bolt. Look, I'm thinking of the guy from...
You're thinking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson again.
I always am. I can't get him out of my fucking head. Get out of there, Dwayne, please. It's like, yeah, Black Bolt, and then they've got their version of Captain Marvel, and then Reed Richards, but it's John Krasinski, and then Xavier rolls out.
Fun cameo. I didn't mind
but
it.
The problem is, it all happens so quickly, and while it's happening, they're giving you an exposition dump, and I'm just like, holy fuck, it's John Krasinski. Wait, what are they saying? Oh, I need to catch up now. But it's the guy from that terrible Fox show that got cancelled after 4 episodes. What are they saying? What is happening?
You know what I liked with Xavier though? I also like that it's not Professor X. It is Professor X, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's not movie Professor X from X-Men films.
From the Fox ones.
It's not that. It is weirdly the 90s animated version of Professor X, straight down to his floating yellow chair,
and the theme and everything.
To cement that, they have the fucking theme tune.
Even the tie he's wearing is like fucking.
It's just funny that he's like, this is who it is, but this is live action.
I also like the visualization of his little like mind powers and all.
You know what I don't get? They're gonna very slight aside, still Marvel themed. He goes in through Dreamwalked Wanda all the way through to actual Wanda to then show that Wanda is being held captive by
the Scarlet Witch,
even though she is the Scarlet Witch. Let's not get into it.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
But he goes all the way through her mind and he sees her. Cool. It's fine. I get it. You got to show that she's in there somewhere, I guess. Even though you fucked the character. Stop, Carrie. I just keep getting angrier. But what I don't understand is he is in that place wearing his little black turtleneck and his fucking slacks, and he's walking around. Right? Professor X walking around. So, what I don't understand, why in his futuristic super universe, with John Krasinski's Reed Richards, the self-appointed smartest man in the universe, have they not made him a way to walk? He clearly wants to, because if he didn't want to walk, he would be in a wheelchair in his own mind.
Because
it gets worse. Because in the X-Men universe, there are, by my count, at minimum 2 X-Men who's mutant. There's Cable from the future and there's Forge, who could just build him fucking legs. Because that's their powers. They can make anything from any technology. So there are a million reasons why he doesn't have to fucking be in the wheelchair. And again, before anyone fucking messages in, oh, but, Gary, it's the look. I know no one messages in, but just in case, when they start, in another 5 years, people are going to be listening back. They're going to be like, oh, Meander Movie Podcast, this looks good. I'll start from the beginning, because that's what I do when I find a new podcast. And I'm going to go through it, and then they're going to be listening. They'll be like, I might message in because what they've said is wrong. And you're going to be sitting there, your phone's going to be blowing up from messages of people listening to episodes from years ago and like, oh, I'm not even going to fucking bother responding.
And it's fine, because I'll just turn over because I'll be married and fat, and it's like, I don't give a fuck about what you think about Xavier being able to walk.
You have to
little
stop these
dweeb.
fucking jibes, all right?
No, I'll be married and fat.
Yeah, but like who?
Yeah,
you cunt.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about me being married, fat, comfortable, and happy.
Who else have you referred to as married and comfortable and happy this episode? Was it me? The only one you didn't directly say to me was fat. But now here we are.
I'm just like, maybe I've met a nice person, and maybe like that me and that nice person.
So yeah, it just fucks me off. It's just one of those weird things. I don't just let him walk, man. Make him walk.
But here's the obvious answer: is that Professor X is a benefit cheat. He's
that X mansion ain't paying for
exactly.
itself.
Like, he wants to get that little cushy check in each month because he's a benefit cheat.
I like to think as well that he's not even doing it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need the money whatsoever. But he's like going through his paperwork and he's like, my investment scheme has made me $4 million this year. Fantastic. My government payment check, $250. I'm going to bank that right now.
Thank you for the little disability check. Because he uses his little mind powers to like, aha.
That's it. Every time the guys come around, they're like, hi, so we're actually here just to check and see if you actually need the disability fund. So we're from the government. I mean, it looks like you're pretty well off. Boop, 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 boop. I'm not well off. This is a tip. Oh, wait, no. I thought this was a mansion, but it's actually a shithole. I guess you do still need the check. And then there's fucking Phoenix next to him like, Professor X, you have to stop. Charles, please, you have to stop this.
And he's like, well, how else am I supposed to afford this big, like, useless yellow floating chair?
Gene, do you understand how expensive this chair is to run? It doesn't run on mind powers. It's batteries. Huge batteries. That chair
is so inconvenient. Like, most doorways will not accommodate that chair.
It's massive.
Like,
do you know how he gets it? Do you know how he gets around with it though?
He opens
up, steps out, turns off the hover, flips it on its side, walks it through, sets it back up, gets back in. Wolverine's there, like, Bub, what the fuck?
He's just sitting there, like, with his claws, just kind of like having to shave down the size of the door frame so the big fucking nonsense chair can get through.
And I liked this kind of like blowing in the face of Marvel's fucking like, hey, we want all these characters in. Raimi's like, yes, sick. Well, I need someone for the Scarlet Witch to kill.
It was definitely an enjoyable scene but it wasn't enjoyable in terms of like, oh, like this is really cool. Like, it's just because I was laughing at it.
I liked it.
I know, but it's just like, hey, do you know he could blow you away with one word and head gets exploded, and then he's
good.
Reed Richards gets turned into string
spaghetti.
Cheese.
Good, like
and
that.
Then fucking Captain UK gets like just chopped in half.
Good,
so brutal.
And
then the most powerful character, like she's just
gets beaten.
Well,
actually, hers was weird because she gets crumpled by rocks.
I was just going to say, like, a statue fell on her. And I'm like, the other Captain Marvel flew through a spaceship at high speed and crashed into the ground. But a statue fell on her, so she's done. Like, but this scene...
Black Bolt made me laugh.
I mean, yeah, I was pissed. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it's Black... Oh, well, Black Bolt. I also like that one where they killed their version of Doctor Strange. And they're just like... He's like, I'm sorry. And it's like, it's really loud and it makes him blow away. But in the cinema, it was also really loud. I'm like, you didn't need to do it to me as well. Like, I didn't need my ears to be fucked up with his...
That was a cool scene, though. I like how, for anyone that's never seen Black Bolt, that's a really awesome way of just showing, like his like, even a whisper can kill, and he's like, I'm sorry.
But the problem with that scene was, it was all on a
massive exposition dump.
I was going to say it was all in a soundstage on a blue screen, and it looked so bad.
It is.
Like,
it's like, especially what comes after it, where you watch Reed Richards get turned into spaghetti, you watch Black Bolt's head explode and like come out of his nose.
He blows his own mind.
It's pretty fucking gruesome.
Yeah,
though.
like that scene's quite full on.
Yeah, it's just funny that when they kill Doctor Strange, it's almost like a hero send off, and you don't see him die. You see him like
fade into dust.
You know what I mean? It was just a bit like, oh.
But that scene, this whole kind of moment here is kind of what we talked about with the Rise of Skywalker and everything like that, where it's the internet willed this into existence almost.
Yeah. Well, a John Krasinski, Reed Richards fan cast,
and then
pure internet,
and everyone's wanted Patrick Stewart back as Xavier for ages. No one really cared about Black Bolt or.
I think that's just them cementing. Hey, remember, guys, everything's canon now.
Yeah,
all the stuff all those TV shows that weren't canon are now canon. Daredevil's canon. Fucking Inhumans is canon.
I just like the idea that actor, who's now in the new Star Trek show, which I've yet to watch, but we'll see if it's any good, because let me tell you, the show with Patrick Stewart, Star Trek Picard, some of the worst television that's ever been made. Star Trek Picard Season 2, I made it through it, because I had to make it through it. Because
Star Trek, you had to do it.
But, oh my God, if you want to, we could do an episode one day where I'll break down episode by episode, scene by scene, why it's some of the worst sci-fi television and some of the most disgusting Star Trek I've ever had to experience in my life. Anyone involved in Star Trek Picard who listens to this podcast, and I hope you do, because I want you to really understand this, you ruined everything. You are a terrible writer, and you need to get a job as a bin man, because that's all you're worth, because you're rubbish. To me, rubbish.
Oh man, I like that your most biting insult that you could possibly come up with is, "You're rubbish, sir."
You're rubbish, sir. Unhand me so I can slap him.
So yeah, so they kill. There you go. Wanda kills off all of the Illuminati, and it's gruesome, and she kills them with little to no remorse. Right? Then, genuinely, not much fucking happens. Strange goes to another universe.
I like the chase scene through the tunnel.
But that was before.
No, when
that's on the way to the. Oh no!
No, after she's killed.
Sorry, yeah.
And then they run through the tunnel, and it's like it's very Raimi-esque, and it's kind of horror-ish.
Good scene. There was that bit where they're like, "Is she coming?" Because the doors were, and I genuinely thought she was going to come in from the side of the screen and go like, "Wah!" Like an Evil Dead thing. Did that happen actually? Hannah got a few jumps. Hannah got a few genuine.
The one
frights.
where she jumps out of the red smoke and snaps Xavier's neck. By the way, that was a cool fucker. Just awesome. And I was like, all right, he's dead.
So the chase scenes, and again, there's all these kind of good scenes, but really, genuinely, I wouldn't say much really fucking out. They go to another, and this is where it gets, the next MacGuffin comes in, they go to another universe, Strange fights another evil Strange. The music fight, dumb as shit.
I liked it.
Fucking good.
I liked it. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about, where something visually different and interesting.
And I wish that it's one of those things, though, it's like, I liked it a lot. It was dumb, but I liked it a lot. But I do wish they just cranked it up to 11.
Yeah.
Because it was like, for me, watching it, I was like, just at the point where I was like, oh, fuck, this next back and forth is going to be like Beethoven's Fifth blasting in, and then it just kind of petered out.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. That's interesting.
Here we go.
And it's over.
Yeah. It's finished.
And now we're just back to Doctor Strange. I'm going to do a Doctor Strange thing. Yeah. I mean, this is where we get the cameo, because we talked about this in a previous episode. We get the cameo of the car. It was a bit too long. It was kind of like, yes, I can see the car. Yep.
I had to do it.
Yep, still see the car.
So so they go to that universe. Other Strange has a third eye because he touched the Darkhold. Then
he's definitely touching kids with that.
He's looking. You can't see where he's looking. Then skip ahead. Strange
takes over.
Strange takes over a corpse.
Which again, very Raimi in the way that
I liked all that. I thought it was very cool imagery, but it kind of amounts to very little.
Yeah, when he takes on the dead people as wings and stuff. I'm like,
that's awesome. That's his cape.
This is mental.
Souls.
This is interesting to look at.
And then it's the big fucking culmination. Another very quick aside. Wanda gets to some fucking temple that is a temple to her, the Scarlet Witch. When she arrives there with Wong, the protector of the earth, is like, Wong, tell me what this thing is. I could not tell you. I will never tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll kill this guy. Ah!
I'll tell you anything you ever want to know.
It gets to the temple, and she's like, wait, this is a temple to me. And then these 4 hulking golem things turn up.
Big
and it's
troll-looking man.
Yeah, big trolls. And I was like, all right, these are going to be interesting. Nothing.
Dispatched with immediate.
Nothing. They do nothing the entire film. They just, at one point, they almost kill Wong, and then he flicks one off a mountain, and that's it. That's the only thing that happens with any of the 4 of them.
Yeah, and then they all just what, Strange get rid of the other three or something? I can't.
It's a fuck all. Basically, they're just there. Okay. Then a big climax. America Chavez is giving it the whole like, I can't beat her, and Strange is like, yeah, you can, and she's like, oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, I can.
I forgot I did know how to use my powers this whole time.
I hate it so much because he says the line like, you've known all along that the power's been in you this whole time, some bullshit like that, and I'm just like, fuck off, like. Man. The whole movie's just like, I don't know how to do it. It's only when I'm afraid, blah, blah, blah. And he just goes, yeah, you can do it. And she goes, yes, I can do it. I'll now do it because the movie needs me to do it. And then she does it. And then it just rips ahead. Again, weird pacing. Just like genuinely, Wanda decides to kill herself to stop herself. It whips ahead and Strange is walking out of his house. I mean, there's a few extra bits in here, don't get me wrong. Oh, yeah, but Strange is like walking out of his Chavez
house.
Is now at Shambhala being trained.
The woman, Rachel McAdams, that's awful of me. Rachel McAdams, it's because I was trying to think of the character. Rachel McAdams' character is then married happily, awesome. Strange is walking out of his house. Here's like a guitar lick. Wow! And it hurts his head and his third eye opens up. The third eye looks fucking terrible.
Oh, it looks so dumb.
End movie. It's a wild ride.
The people I went with, we sat through the post-credit scenes.
Both of them?
Yeah, they wanted to stay for both of them. The best part of this entire movie for me was at the end of the movie when it came up and it says Doctor Strange will return. My friend Liam, 2 seats down, went, I fucking hope not, really loud in the cinema. And I pissed myself with laughter because it was the only good part. Apart from, like, the Raimi stuff was good. Like, the post-credit scene with Charlize Theron.
Fine, but it's just the usual setting up the next thing to keep you on the fucking hook. And to be honest, they're doing these things, like, anytime they introduce one of these characters, it was the same thing that happened with Thanos. First time you seen Thanos, and half the cinema was like, oh my god. And maybe, like, half the cinema gasped, half the cinema gasps in, like, what the fuck? And then the half that gasped pretending to know who it was, who clearly don't have a fucking clue. And then you get that very small subset that were like, sick, Thanos, right? But at that point in the cinema history, everyone was just like, wait, who? Like, nobody really fucking knew.
Who? Why?
Why am I meant to care about this? That's what's just happened there with Clea. And so many people were just like, wait, who was that? And I get it. I suppose what the point I'm making is, like, they keep introducing these, like, oh, look, it's our end credit scene introducing this character. And we're kind of at the point where, like, who fucking knows who these characters are? You know what I mean?
And I suppose this brings us back to the question that set us on this path down talking Doctor Strange, which is who cares anymore?
Yeah.
And how much longer can this go on for?
Yeah, I think we spoke about this ages ago. We were talking about the bubble bursting, and I think I'm with you. I kind of just feel like the bubble is slow. It's a slow burst, but it's happened, and it's happening as we speak. These movies are introducing characters, and that they're caught now in a place where they've gotten rid of the characters that they set up for 20 years, 18 years.
2007 or 8 is when
okay, so
Iron Man came out.
Let's say 15 years. Yeah. We'll round it down, right? 15 years they introduced these characters and they built them up and they made
we've been doing this for almost 15 years.
I know. And they did a great job of it. They started with, character films, and every time they introduced characters, they spent a good chunk of time doing it. And don't get me wrong, there's the jokes to be made. The origin films are fucking annoying, and it's the same thing. And that is true. You occasionally get the ones that turn it on its head. Guardians of the Galaxy is a great origin movie. So they kind of learned to flip it, and it started working and tweaking it. But they introduced all their big hitters, and then they just haven't set the groundwork. It's weird. What it feels like, they haven't set the groundwork enough for the new batch of characters to come in, right?
Yeah.
So what it feels like now, weirdly, it's like Marvel are doing what DC are doing to Marvel, but Marvel are doing it to themselves. DC have constantly been on that back foot of like, shit, Marvel have got a 10-year head start on us. We have to introduce all our characters now. Here's
Batman, Flash, and Aquaman, and
all in one movie. It's not even. It's a fucking Superman movie, but we're introducing all of them anyway. And the next movie is going to be the Justice League movie. It's going to be crazy. Marvel are now doing that, but it's like, oh fuck, right? What do we got? Do we have? Ooh. We still recording though? Is it kept it going again? No, when you fucking boot it, it's not. Put your foot through the fucking screen. Still recording?
It's still going.
So now Marvel are like, we gotta we fucking dropped the ball. We did the TV shows, but we haven't actually done anything with any of those characters. America Chavez, the new Hawkeye, WandaVision. Fuck, we made her a villain. No more WandaVision. Loki, all the Lokis. Like, they're now just chasing their own tail, trying to introduce these characters, and they're not doing enough groundwork for pretty much the vast majority of them.
It feels like at this point, post Endgame, that they haven't really had an idea of where they want to go next or what they want to do. So in the meantime, they're just like, let's just do let's do some small little things that all kind of connect back to Endgame. Like, oh, what happened to you during the snap? Or what's happened to you post snap? All these kind of like things that are still like being the effect of Endgame is still going until they're like, we have an idea of where we want to go next. And that's what it's felt like with Black Widow, Eternals, and No Way Home, or whatever it is. And then with this one, it's like, we don't really have an idea yet of where we want to go. So we're just going to put these things in place and hopefully it goes somewhere.
Because Caboose, who's a big Marvel fan, and he lives in the Marvel subreddits, and he's like, follows the news, and anytime there's a leak and a spoiler, he's like, oh, I'm going to go and look at the leaks and the spoiler. So the whole run up to Multiverse, he was like, oh, I've seen spoilers. And I'm like, yeah, but you go, like, don't act like you weren't looking for it. And he's like, well, you know.
It's like you actively went out. You saw it. You found it.
You were on the Marvel subreddit. There was something that said spoiler. It was a blurred image. You clicked it. And then we're like, oh, what?
You spoiled it for me.
Caboose, if you're listening, I'm on to you. But Caboose loves it. And he's told me that they, Kevin Feigs have said, like, we're not doing another Thanos. We're not doing another, like, massive enemy for all the team-ups that happen. We're just going to be doing smaller arcs, and there might be a kind of a villain that they all come together to fight, but not all of them. It'll be Ant-Man and Strange, or it'll be more team-ups rather than massive team-ups.
I mean, yeah, we've seen that so far. With Thor, it's going to be Thor and the Guardians.
Yeah.
And then with Doctor Strange, it's like, hey, we've got Wanda in here, and we've also got, like, some of these other Illuminati characters and, like, whatever else. Like, the TV shows as well. With, like,
and it's fine, right? Cool. If that's what they want to do. The problem that they've got is that the comics have for years made no point. They've at no point have they ever just been like, and they don't care because it's comics and they just do what they want. But they've always made it a point of being like, right, you know what? Spider-Man's fighting Vulture this week. Sick. Also, Iron Man's taking on Galactus. And it's like, wait, sorry, those two things are happening at the same time? Yeah. Was Spider-Man not going to help? No, Spider-Man's fighting Vulture. It's like, so he's not going to help Iron Man fight Galactus? No, he doesn't need to. Iron Man's fighting Galactus. And the comics have just been like, and that's what's happening.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
And next week,
they're the two stories.
They'll swap. They'll take it. Yeah. They'll take it.
And it's just what happens. But the movies, and I get it because it's a different format and a different. Yeah. I do get it. The movies can't do that because as we have seen the amount of times it was like, yeah, but where was Hawkeye and the Hulk during that one? And then the next film they go like, oh, Hawkeye and Ant-Man. Sorry, they took the government deal because they have families, so that's why they haven't been in the last film, not because of the licensing deals and the contracts. But we've written them out and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So they constantly have to make these things make sense, and it's hurting. It is genuinely hurting these movies because everything has to make sense in universe rather than... And, like, it's kind of why I'm holding out hope for Thor 4.
No.
Because...
No.
I'm holding out hope.
Nope.
And I will always hold out hope, Gav. Every single time I will sit here and I'll go, I don't think it's going to be... Same thing that... You remember, Multiverse, I was like, I don't think it's going to be good. But I'm holding out hope.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't. I shouldn't. But I'm holding out hope for Thor 4 because it's not set on Earth. It's set in space. And I like the fact that when they're in space, they are like taking these leaps to go like, you know what? Wacky fucking nonsense.
Yeah, they're more free. They're not restricted by like
Earth,
the Earth,
because that's where Strange is and Spider-Man and all these other characters that could help. And if they don't help, people will question it. So we have to explain why they don't. So it's just easier to put them out.
Like they're literally round the corner, but they are busy. They have to phone because the internet's not working, and they're going to deal with that today. So that's why they're not here to fight.
It was even worse. Like, it's funny, not funny, but it's even worse in the actual like the phases we've just had up to Endgame because S.H.I.E.L.D. was in charge. So anytime there was any fight, S.H.I.E.L.D. are like, hey, we heard about the fight, Iron Man. Yeah, I'm dealing with it. Don't worry, we're going to send Cap and Hulk and Black Widow and Hulk. We're just going to send the Avengers. No, I don't need the Avengers. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm Sam Jackson. I'm sending the Avengers. Boop, motherfucker.
Oh, I want that scene.
But it kind of made even less sense. Whereas at least now Shield's gone, Swords in space, and they've kind of set that up at the end of Captain Marvel. Was it Captain Marvel?
See, here's the thing I keep realizing is you keep you're seeing Sam Jackson there, and I'm like, oh yeah, he was at the end of Far From Home, and he was up in space with like the alien people, and then you've got like, oh. They set this thing up in the for Ant-Man. Ant-Man's going to have to do this thing with this character. And then we've got Charlize Theron over here. And then over here in Shang-Chi, Wong's said there's a signal out. Yep. And I'm just like, there's all these... There's so many of these things.
Loki and the TVA and the Kang.
Fuck Loki and the TV thing. I don't like...
Kang the Conqueror. But you not seen the videos, man? When Kang the Conqueror is talking about change, it matches up perfectly with the WandaVision finale. You can match them up, man. 17 minutes. Ugh.
Don't... care. I feel like when I posed this question to you, this was a chance for us both to talk about Doctor Strange and Multiverse Matters, because we've just seen it and it's the current thing.
Fresh.
It's fresh and people are talking about the movie, and it was also a chance for me to just really drill down into this point, which is, and this has been a point I've been dancing around for previous episodes. I've said it about No Way Home. I said it about Eternals. I said it about Shang-Chi. And I was saying about Star Trek and the Multiverse of Madness. I'd much rather watch Star Trek and the Multiverse of Madness. But Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is, for me, this big Marvel train of we're going towards this thing. It's done. Marvel are now just scrambling to try and like keep this relevant. And I don't see much more point in these movies or these characters because it's just the same boring shot in Atlanta on a soundstage with some blue screen shit. And like, I look at Multiverse of Madness and I'm like, this should be the most visually interesting movie I see this year. And it's just not, because it's just a bunch of actors who are on a soundstage in Atlanta on some blue screens, and it just looks dog shit. And they're feeding me lines through the movie with their voices that I don't care about, and they're expressing these bigger ideas for what the universe is going to become, and I just don't care. It's so boring to me now. Thanos came. Thanos was fucking amazing. It was such a good character. It was such a monumental end for this massive experiment. The experiment has succeeded now. The volcano that you built out of paper mache went off.
And it's a cultural phenomenon. And it is absolute cultural phenomenon. There are courses in colleges and unis now. Did I talk about this? That the entire course is studying the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the beast that it is. That is a class you can take in some universities and in like filmmaking universities and colleges, which is it's amazing. That's so fucking cool. But you're right. It's just we're floating around now, and like they're doing these things. So they are releasing the TV shows and they're releasing the films, but they aren't cohesive. But they have been cohesive, and they're struggling to make it all fit, and it never will because they keep releasing content
constantly. We just had Moon Knight. We're about to have Thor, and then we've got
Moon Knight,
and then we've got that Miss Marvel TV show coming as well.
We had Moon Knight, we got Thor, we got Miss Marvel, then we've got whatever's fuck Sony's doing, which is kind of connected.
Yeah, I saw Venom Let There Be Carnage like 2 weeks ago. It was on Now TV.
What do you think?
Wow, is it bad?
But like, do you not think it's? Did you? I put into that. I thought like it's better than Venom 1, and I couldn't read yours and Ryan's responses. I wasn't sure if you were both being really sarcastic or not.
I mean, I was honest in my answer, which is it's 20 minutes shorter than the first Venom, so that it's better, because it meant I was watching it for less time. But as an actual movie, like, I don't know what happened in the making of that movie, if it got destroyed in the editing process, or if it had like a bad kind of production. But it's a disaster.
So my take on Venom 2 is it's a bad film, right? Absolutely. I genuinely watched it and thought that's better than Venom 1. It's got all the same pitfalls. So Venom fights Carnage, who is just another Venom.
Yeah.
It's still got that same weird fucking sense of humor, which is like, oh, Venom's an alien, but he makes human jokes,
and it's edgy, and
he's edgy.
He swears and stuff.
He swears and the same weird sense of humor.
But we want him to be a hero. Like, why?
But what I liked about it, I thought Carnage. The scenes with Carnage were genuinely fucking scary. I thought like the intro to Carnage. If I was watching that, I was like, oh, if I was a kid, I'd be like, that's actually frightening. So I like that. I like the fact they made Carnage scary. Yeah. That's probably the only good thing. But
all the other characters, including Woody Harrelson when he's not Carnage are just dopey and like goofy. Like
weird.
Like but Venom is so dopey. I'm just like, why is he this big dopey goof? Like, I'm Venom.
I'm gonna eat the chicken.
I'm gonna eat the chicken. I'm not gonna. You're just like, what the fuck is? Why is Venom this? Why?
I just stick by it. I do not like the whole Eddie Brock. When he's got the venom inside of him, he's a junkie. What? Yeah, that's what he looks like. He looks like a junkie.
Yeah.
We're just going to make him sweaty and sunken-eyed and look like shit the entire films. Why?
And he has the same amount of chemistry with Michelle Williams that Benedict Cumberbatch had with Rachel McAdams. Just like, I don't believe in any of this. It's not interesting. It's not funny. Stop it.
It's not a good film. I stick by it better than Venom 1. But the reason I asked you guys that is because a lot of my friends are all like, nah, man, I watched Venom 1, I enjoyed it, but Venom 2 was terrible. And I came out of Venom 2 like, I mean, it's still bad, but it's better than Venom 1. And they were all like, no, Venom 1 was fine, but Venom 2 sucked. And I'm like, watch them back to back and tell me. Because I'm genuinely curious. I'm like, how can you not, like, for me, they're the same film. So if you like the first one, you like the second one.
For me,
you know what I mean?
If I had to choose to watch one of them again, I would choose the second one.
I would pick the second one.
And it's also because the first one is trying to be like, oh, what's Venom? Or here's how the characters work. Or what's this mysterious bad guy doing in the lab? Venom 2 is just like, blah, 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 blah. Here's things happening. And action, and the movie's over.
Rapid and nonsense. Yeah.
And you're like, fine, it's over now. I'm done.
Weird. So yeah, Marvel's fucked. I think it's fucked. I think my end solution is we've got a limited runtime left. The question I think would be interesting, and I think we can finish the episode with this, is what can they do to fix it?
Oh, stop.
No, but right, they're not going to. They're not going to stop, right? We both know that. So if you were in charge, what do you think they could do to make you care again?
I actually do have an answer for this, and it's based upon something I realized after Doctor Strange 2, which is the idea of less is more. Because at this point, they're thinking more is better. Because if to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you have to have seen the movies leading up to it. Sure, that's always been the case. But now you have to have seen 2, maybe 3 other of the TV shows, all that run between 6 to 8 hours on a streaming service that you have to pay for monthly.
I mean, you only need to see WandaVision, right?
People have said to me, you need to see WandaVision, What If, and Loki a wee bit.
So I think What If, I don't think you need to see Loki. What If you can watch to get like an intro to the characters that get killed off. That's pretty much it. But do you know what I mean? Like, there's no real impact. But I get what people are saying because I thought the same. I was like, remember, guys, watch What If. And I think they were saying like, hey guys, remember to watch What If before Multiverse of Madness to be up to scratch. The only one I think you need to have seen is WandaVision. But then that brings you to the whole other conversation of like, if I only want to watch the films, I can't.
Oh yeah, now that's a perfect example. If you want to watch Doctor Strange 2, you have to see WandaVision to understand.
To watch 8 hours of television.
Yeah, you have to watch 8 hours of television. Well, I guess it's not 8 hours, but like you have to watch a big chunk of television to have an idea of what the fuck. Because if not, the last time you saw one was in Endgame when she was just kind of like showing up and like you killed.
She was grief stricken.
Yeah.
End of. And then it's like, skip to... So yeah, you're right, actually. Don't watch TV shows, skip to Multiverse of Madness 2, and she's like, I want to get my kids back. You'd be like,
who?
Huh?
What?
Twins? Where
also,
where did you have these kids?
2 of the worst child actors I've
I hate them. Oh, fuck, sorry.
The ice cream song.
Oh, what was that?
The ice cream song.
No, the bit... Sorry, I just fucking remembered the bit that There was one thing that happened in Multiverse of Madness. I was just like, wait, what? Right at the end of the movie, she's fucking on a rampage, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She sees her kids and they run away from her and she's like, whoa, why are you running? They're like, you're not our mum. Our mum would never hurt him. She's like, no, I would never hurt a soul. Looks across, sees other Wanda battered and broken and she's like, oh, what have I become? Have a montage to the 35 people you've brutally murdered. Don't look at that woman that's not even dead and that's what makes you come back to reality. No, fuck off. You killed people. Brutally.
Killed, maimed, burned alive, tortured.
Oh, no, that's not... fucking hell, right? I'm done. Fuck this. Yeah. I'm riled up
The
now.
summary of my answer is...
Roll is a good shout.
Roll it back. There's too much out there now, and I barely have the care to keep it up to it. up to date. The only reason I like keeping up to date is because you and I and Audio Boy and Ryan and other people, we can all like come together and like have a good wee laugh and chat and like go to the cinema with your friends and chat about how rubbish Doctor Strange is.
It is a shame that we're reaching the point now where we can't even have the like. Because although like the episode where we talked about Spider-Man, Mysterio Spider-Man, no way.
Yeah, Far From Home.
Far From Home. Fuck me, man.
Yeah, I know those names are terrible.
Just get rid of the name. Just stop the
1,
home
2, and
thing.
3. Yeah.
Just it's annoying. Anyway, when we came out, and I was like, no, the film's fucking like I'm stoked, and you were like, no, I didn't. That was an engaging, interesting conversation, right? And I liked that. Because even though we didn't agree, it creates a dialogue.
Yeah.
We're reaching a point now where it's like, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. All right.
Yeah, like...
guess that's the whole episode, folks. We didn't like it. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, it's like there used to be a back and forth, and now most of the people I talk to when it comes to these new Marvel movies, they're either like, didn't see it or didn't care. Yeah. And that's just
hard. Hey, right.
But yes, this has been episode 4 of season 3 of the Meandering Movie Podcast, where once again we talked about Marvel superhero
movies.
Guys. We'll stop.
Next episode, we're not talking about Marvel.
We're going to go on a Marvel hiatus
until the next big film.
Probably till like Thor.
We'll do a review.
We'll do something maybe, but yeah, no more Marvel for a while. We're just going to go Sonic all the time. Every episode Sonic. So thank you for listening to the Meandering Movie Podcast.
Thanks.
If you would like to hit us up on social medias, go down into the description. All the links are there for you to follow. Gary's on Twitch. Ryan has his print shop that he's doing. I am on Instagram.
Don't fucking plug Ryan. He's not even here.
He's still our friend. We like him. And Audio Boy is still the best of all of us. Thank you so much for listening.
Also, don't tell him to fucking get in touch with us on social media and then tell me every episode no one gets in touch with us.
Again,
pick a line, man.
The competition is there for you. Like if you think we're lying, there is a competition.
There is,
and you can win a prize.
There is a genuine prize.
But this time we're going to keep the prize a secret. A surprise.
You have to go back to the last episode and hear about it.
But yeah,
thanks for tuning in, folks. We're going to be back soon talking about something else. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. So won't you lend an ear?